everybody, this is Jeff back, and we're back with Rule the Waves. Before we start, a little bit of an announcement. This is Christmas week, and so these Rule the Waves will be the only series continuing for this week because, to be honest, it's really quite easy for me to record these. And as such, it'll be done because it doesn't take me that much time to process and record and upload. The other ones take a lot longer just because of their sheer size of the files. Becomes a bit of a problem. And there's a lot of stuff going on this week anyway. I do have a special thing saved for Christmas Day, which is edited and ready to be uploaded. And I'll be putting that up onto YouTube and setting it up to be scheduled because I'm going to be out of town also for much of this week. So, here we are. We're back with Rule the Waves. And actually, next week, I'll bring up the calendar, because I'm going to be gone actually, I'm going to be gone the 23rd to the 27th. So, the week of the New Year, I might make a video for the New Year itself, but this week there will be nothing as well, because I'm going to be gone from, like, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. I'll be out. So, just letting you guys know that. I don't want to leave you in the dark. So, yeah, let's move on. We're at war with the states, and we're winning. For the moment. We have a bunch of cruisers under construction. Go by displacement, please. Thank you. And, a bunch of ships that are obsolete. These guys are being replaced. I might just scrap them because they're kind of piss poor. And a bunch of old DDs and so on. So I'm going to laugh out of a destroyer called DDD. Right there. DDD! And he's on the East Coast right now. We're in a pretty good position. We appear to be blockading the Americas. And we have more battleships off the East Coast than they do. Which is good. So, let's end this turn. Whoa. That's a zoom. End of this turn. Yeah, we sank DD Porter. We sank Minesweeper Annie F. Conlon. 3 British submarines sunk, which kind of sucks because we don't have that many submarines left. Okay, hit a mine. That's alright. Coastal Raid. We'll take that. And hope we actually have a real ship. Do we? We got 2 battle cruisers, a light cruiser, and 3 destroyers, including DDD. DDDD. DDDDDDDDD. Okay, what are... Yes, 50% fuel, 50% fuel. What are our objectives? Sink any 2 ships. And I guess we head for Charleston. Yeah, it actually snowed today, which is a 3rd this year, I think, but it's just going to melt. We're probably not going to have a white Christmas, which is actually pretty standard for this area, despite how far north we are. It just doesn't snow. Well, it snows and it just doesn't stay. Oh. Yeah, I'm not going in combat in the dark. We already know how that works. So we'll stay off the coast at cruise speed and wait for daylight, which we'll have plenty of time for. What is he doing? Yes, rejoin. Okay, good. Daylight is in 8 hours. Daylight is in 7 hours. Daylight is in 6 hours. Because I don't want to fight in the dark. Fighting in the dark is bad. We'll stay out here for now, and then... Okay, so we may not be doing much of anything in this raid. 2 hours. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything. Thing is, I don't want to run into a combat group with better battle cruisers than I have in the dark. 40 minutes. And we see a ship. Good, we can at least get 1 ship. Turn towards it. It is a small merchant vessel. looks like DDD is heading forward. Also, one reason why there weren't that many videos last week, as you can tell by looking at the start bar down here, which I never put away for this, I'm upgraded to Windows 10 now instead of Windows 7. And that was a bit of a nightmare. Oh, I forgot to start the timer. Oh, whoops. I'll put it for 5 minutes. But yeah, so that was a bit of a nightmare. Marginal victory, thanks to the night. What did they have? They had 2 battle cruisers, a Ticonderoga and Intrepid, which have 15-inch guns. And yeah, I really didn't want to run into that. There's one target up there that I would never have gotten to. And then a merchant, and a merchant. So there really wasn't that much to sink, really. And a patrol boat. But yeah, so I updated to Windows 10. It took over 26 hours to install it. What do you mean, this disappointment? Whatever. Freaking idiots. But yeah, it took over 26 hours to install the update, so the computer was down for a long time. And then the sound broke, which was a fun fix. And then somehow my boot order got overwritten, and it was trying to boot from the wrong hard drive, and it was going, oh, we can't find the boot sector. It's like, well, yeah, you reset it to boot first priority from the solid state drive, which doesn't have the operating system, because I've bricked 3 solid state drives in this computer already, and didn't want to lose my operating system again. So it's now on one of the more traditional hard drives. Yeah, it takes longer to boot up, but if the device bricks, I can always get my data back. When you brick a solid state, your data's gone. And so I just don't keep anything on the solid state anymore. I use it exclusively for Ready Boost, which doesn't seem to make that much of a difference. We lost a destroyer to a mosquito, a mine. Cruiser action. You're out of place. We're going to be fighting freaking armed merchant cruisers. This will be entertaining. There they are. Max speed, guys. Oh, your new ships, too. That guy must be a bit fast. Yeah, 31 knots compared to my 29. Go. Somehow a destroyer got medium damage in that. Alright. But yeah. It took me, all told, probably about 3 days to update to Windows 10. And I'm like the only person who had all these problems. Granted, my video card, some of the components in this system date to 2009, including the sound card. And the sound card was the big problem because it kept breaking everything else. I'm not even using an official driver anymore because Sound Blaster just doesn't update their drivers. They don't see it fit to, so yay! You guys, move ship. I want you on the east coast now. Okay, goody. Because we lost a destroyer out there. Turn! Submarines commissioned! Hooray, 1 submarine commissioned! And this is something we'll do next episode, even though my timer hasn't gone off yet. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will be back. See you tomorrow.